Let's check out the movies from Friday and see how they did. The Black Phone 2 movie seems to be in first place. Seems to have done pretty well. And then the 27 million. Tron Area still. Good Fortune came in third, 6 million. Then Truth and Treason down here, sixth place, 2 million. And then the After the Hunt film came in ninth place with $1 million. And then Pets on a Train, just like they almost gave up on that. They kicked it out of the theater with $821,000. Wow. Some reviews for Black Phone 2 are 6 stars, mixed feels. 8 out of 10. The Black Phone rings louder this time. The first Black Phone was engaging and had solid suspense, but it left several questions unanswered and felt somewhat predictable at times. It wasn't necessarily bad, but it lacked a bit of closure. The sequel, however, improves on almost every aspect. It fills in gaps left by the first film, provides meaningful explanations, and adds much more depth to the characters and the motivations. Overall, a stronger, more satisfying follow-up that enhances the original story. That's cool. 7 out of 10. Good until... spoilers. 6 out of 10 stars. What Walt's watching. Need a dose of supernatural horror that riffs on itself and several other famous slasher films. Then welcome to the sequel to The Black Phone, even though the grabber, Ethan Hawke, is supposed to be dead. Oh, I wanted this as spoilers, doesn't say. Set in the 70s, just 4 years after the original, literally, and continuing on from the short story by Joe Hill, that's right, Stephen King's son, comes Black Phone 2. Interesting. It's 7 out of 10 stars. Not as good as the first, but still decent. See, that's why this movie would definitely bring people in, because you have to see it probably if you saw the first. You're probably like, well, you know, it probably kind of gathered like a fan base for it. 6 out of 10 stars. Didn't want to listen to early critics. 10 out of 10. Fantastic. Wow. You think that's real? Better than the first, 7 out of 10. Well, it's not bad, though. I guess mostly good so far. Has 128 reviews. So my next one is Good Fortune. I could read some reviews. There's 53 of them. 8 out of 10 stars. Lots of laughs, but a hard watch if you've been there. This movie had me laughing so hard, but also crying my eyes out whenever I wasn't laughing. I don't know how intentional that was, but watching this movie brought me back to the moments I truly lived these moments. Back to the moments I truly lived these moments. I think many of us know how it feels, especially if you've experienced chronic homelessness like I have. Life in today's gig economy is soul-crushing. And this film acknowledges that, but trying to also pull you out of it by not just telling you you're not alone, but truly making you feel like you're not alone. It doesn't give unrealistic answers or solutions. It doesn't pretend like the ending is always happily ever after. But it does tell you that there is someone out there with you to make things something. 6 out of 10 stars. Rich people's take on hard lives. Oh no. 8 out of 10 stars. Good Fortune review. Oh, whatever. Good Fortune is a breezy romantic comedy that delivers exactly what you expect. Laughs, charm, and a feel-good story. Witty dialogue. Undeniable chemistry between the leads, which keeps the energy light and engaging throughout. What stands out most is the movie's ability to mix humor with moments of genuine warmth. Blah, blah. 7 out of 10 stars. Makes me want chicken nuggies. Aziz Ansari's first feature. Oh yeah, I forget that this is his debut. First feature is actually a pretty good one. It's a film that doesn't overstay its welcome and has some good points to make about the class divide we face in the world currently. Also, it's actually funny and not in a gross out way, trying to shock you kind of way. That's what I liked in the trailer. When Keanu Reeves just looked at the computer and he said, I can't stop looking at pictures of baby elephants, right? It would have been, a dirty joke there. And it's nice that they did that. Maybe that's for the trailer. I thought they cussed in the trailer, so that must have been their Red Band trailer, but maybe they swapped the jokes out. But that dirty humor just gets tiring after a while. It's like, how many times can you hear the same kind of, like sex joke or whatever? It's like, everybody makes the same joke, really. But it's kind of nice because Keanu Reeves would say something like that. And I think that trailer showcased that in a good way. Let's see what else. 7 out of 10 stars. Funny and charming with heavy themes. 7 out of 10 stars. Funny, but a MK little tone deaf. I don't know what that means. 10 out of 10 stars. Good Fortune and Hard Truth, a review from someone who's been there. Oh, that's the same one. Whatever. 7 out of 10 stars. Can't help but love Keanu. They fully banked on Keanu just being the most lovable man, and it works. I can't imagine this movie working with any other actor in his role. This movie takes a little time to set up, but once they get into the high concept storyline, there are a lot of good laughs, especially between Seth and Keanu. If you're a fan of Aziz's style of humor, or if you just want some Keanu content, then you'll have fun with this. 10 out of 10 stars, brilliant blend of humor, humanity, and heart. Anyways, well, it looks like this movie is doing well. You can check out some reviews for Truth and Treason. 9 out of 10 stars. Almost a perfect film. Truth and Treason is a powerful and sobering historical drama that follows 3 German teenage boys who decide they've had enough of Hitler's lies and Nazi propaganda. That's cool. There's like, we're done with this. Set during one of history's darkest times, the film captures the courage, fear, and desperation of youth standing up to a monstrous regime. That's cool. It's a story rooted in truth and moral conviction, one that shows how even the smallest voices can echo the loudest when speaking against evil. That's good. 9 out of 10 stars, all around good movie. Enjoyed the acting, camera work, script, and score. I thought the characters were very believable, and particularly like the fact that all Germans were not portrayed as two-dimensional thugs, even member of the party. Anyway, 10 out of 10 stars, powerful and deeply moving. 10 out of 10, fascinating film. 10 out of 10, truth and patriotism. 10 out of 10 stars, amazing and relevant. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Why does it have to be that? That's not what's happening. 10 out of 10 stars. The truth is most powerful when it is hardest to hear. 10 out of 10, worth watching again. That's good. Probably didn't get heavy marketing though, so it's probably good. It just didn't get properly promoted like every other movie. Next, we can check out the reviews for After the Hunt. 5 out of 10 stars. A squandered promise. Yeah, I already said it seems like it's too long. It probably could have gotten the story across in an hour and 45 minutes. I think this is 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't know if it really needs all of that extra time. Luca Guadagnino's 2025 drama, despite featuring the unmistakable presence of Julia Roberts, ultimately fails to coalesce into a compelling cinematic experience. The narrative suffers from glaring inconsistencies, leaving too many unresolved questions that generate confusion rather than intrigue. Characters' arcs are poorly defined, undermining emotional engagement, while pivotal plot developments feel hastily constructed or superficially explored. Pacing is erratic. Even the film's meticulous visual composition and polished cinematography cannot mask the shortcomings of a thin, underdeveloped script. 7 out of 10 stars. The cast was the saving grace for Luca. From my perspective, only someone like Luca Guadagnino could offer streams of circuitous talk about existential ethics and morality hinged on gender and generation, and making it interesting. Nonetheless, I believe that almost everyone would take away something different from this film based on their demographic. Just my opinion. 5 out of 10 stars. After the Hunt is Luca Guadagnino's most uneven work and unironically his most generic. Wow. A director known for breaking the mold ends up stuck with a film that follows manuals and formulas. Nora Garrett tries to write a script full of provocations and moral ambiguities, but what emerges is a pretentious and exhausting text. The trio of protagonists try hard, but cannot escape the limitations imposed by the material itself. It is a drama that strives for depth, but gets lost in its own vanity. A film about guilt that seems to feel no guilt for being so empty. Jeez, that's a harsh one. We believe what we want to believe. Spoilers. 7 out of 10 stars. Political correctness. Interesting. 7 out of 10 stars. Meta and artistic approach of the Me Too movement. 7 out of 10 stars. Julia Roberts is outstanding. The rest, not so much. Darn. Even Andrew Garfield. A lot of these Marvel actors, they have to do other roles to really differentiate from now having played such an iconic superhero character like Spider-Man that just stands out. 5 out of 10 stars. They should have been 30 minutes shorter. That's what I was saying. I was drawn to After the Hunt because of Luca Guadagnino and the stellar cast, but once once the first Woody Allen-esque scene is done, the film takes an extremely slow and uninteresting pace that makes the dialogue and characters somewhat infuriating to understand or even care about throughout the film. If it had been a faster pace, tighter script, and focus on to the core story, it would have been an enjoyable watch. The acting is still really solid, and the shots are beautiful, with a score that is tantalizing as always in Lucas films. This guy gave it 9 out of 10 stars. Well, I mean, looks cool so far. Yeah, that runtime though, 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't know if it really needs that. Like, they're already, one battle after another is 2.5 hours. It might be the same. And the last movie that did come out is called Pets on a Train. It seems to be one of those kind of movies, like, you know, one of those, like The Bad Guys, you know, one of those kinds of animated films. The Bad Guys is actually good, and I guess I haven't seen the sequel yet, but the first one, I like the first one. This has 4 reviews, okay? So this is the movie that looks like the movie theaters got rid of. Like, hey, that Pets on a Train movie is taking up a theater. Get it out of here. No one's seeing it. And then the manager holds up this and it's like, look, it's got 4 reviews. Get it out of my theater. First one is 7 out of 10 stars. Old school action and cartoon. I love the plot. Remind me of action movies where we have a classic villain, terrorist, random stranger who became hostages, and a hero to save them all. Pretty cool. 6 out of 10 stars for kids. Definitely kids only ride. As an adult who actually loves animation, I found little joy in it. Though there were a few funny moments here and there, watching it in a cinema full of kids made it clear they had a blast. So for families, it works as a light-hearted outing. But for me, the characters fell flat and the story was ordinary, but it's still harmless fun for children. That's cool. I wonder if there's any adult jokes in it, you know, if it's purely for the kids. Because, I don't know, to me that's important because I wish I could just leave the kids alone. Last one is 6 out of 10 stars. Oh, second to last. 6 out of 10 stars for Pets on Train. Falcon is a wild little raccoon that serves a community of stray animals, a bit like Robin Hood. He scavenges what he can and distributes it to the hungry, all of whom are eagerly awaiting his grand plan to provide them with a sumptuous Christmas lunch. What? For that, he is working with Hans and plans to relieve a high-speed train of most of the contents of its buffet car. Oh, that's funny. Okay, well, anyways, 10 out of 10 stars. My kid loves it. The movie's main character is a raccoon, but the movie was about good. My kids love it. I don't normally like it, but it's funny. Pets, jokes. Oh, Jesus. But about the villain sucks. It's just not funny. But the snake rap song was not so good, but my kid likes it. Again, the best part of the movie was the fighting scene was great, and that's it. Man, that's a sentence. Well, anyways, those are all the reviews for that movie. Here's the Rotten Tomatoes scores, if anyone's wondering. But other than that, those are all the movies for now.